In light of the recent winter solstice and the new year coming up, I wanted to talk for a second about new beginnings. I think it's a really crucial topic to keep in the forefront of your mind during your romantic relationship, whether you're in one or not, because you can turn over a new leaf at any time in your romantic relationship. You can have a new beginning within it and not have to wait for a special date like an anniversary or New Year's or some kind of date that is symbolic to you in some way, although they can be very helpful as like a benchmark or a bookmark to come back to in your calendar. I think a lot of people see winter as a time of dormancy, stagnation maybe, because it's cold, it's dark, the days are the shortest. This is a time of darkness right now. But it's like the opposite of summertime, where there's abundance and harvest and plenty and everything is very alive. There's a lot of energy moving around the world and moving within you and the people you're connected to. So in the times of darkness, it's like the darkness of soil underground. It's quiet, it's damp, it's cold, but it is very potent. It is very fertile there. There are tons of nutrients, there's calm, there's a safe space for a seed to germinate and grow into something better or bigger or different. And so if we see ourselves that way right now, the potential is very big. And the reason for looking at yourself through that lens is that as soon as you start seeing yourself in that way, you can begin to create transformations in your life and in your relationship. So ask yourself right now, what are the seeds I'm planting? Because whether we're conscious of it or not, we are always planting seeds in the present, like now the present, but also a month from now when it's the present, people will be planting seeds then too. So at any given moment, you can ask yourself, what are the seeds I'm planting? Because that's what is going to come to fruition in the future. A lot of people think that things just happen to us in life, and a lot of times they do. There's plenty that's out of our control, of course, but we're also planting things into our future. We are creating our lives, ourselves, our relationships as we go along at every moment, at every step of the way. So if you're conscious of the seeds you're planting, good or bad, then you can begin to direct the direction of the growth or the size or the type of the growth, and you can create your relationship in a conscious way. So this is like my whole thesis, right? So what seeds are you planting right now? They could be negative, they could be detrimental seeds. For example, if you've been snapping at your partner lately, or using sarcasm more often, or shutting down in conflict, things like that, that are like bad habits that are destructive to the health of the relationship. You're planting seeds to do that more in the future. Even if it gets you what you wanted, you did it in like a dirty way that was maladaptive to the health of the relationship. Therefore, you might be more likely to use that strategy in the future, even though it's not ideal, it's not optimum. So if you recognize that you're starting to do these things and it's becoming normalized in your relationship, now's the time to pull out the seed and don't let it germinate, because those things will just grow and magnify and amplify over time. And talk to your partner too. What seeds are they planting now? Or step back together and say, hey, is there anything new in our relationship or anything that we're doing right now that we don't want in the future? Similarly, ask yourself, is there anything we're doing right now that we do want in the future? So are we creating connection rituals? Are we spending time together in a more conscientious way? Like if we're getting sick of being around each other constantly, if you're like quarantining together, or they're one of the people you see not like more often than everybody else, things can start to stagnate in a relationship. There's not that freshness or excitement or newness. And so if you want to plant seeds for that excitement and variety in your life, then you can talk to each other about like, okay, what are some practices we can put into place that will make us feel excited and fresh and energized about each other and our connection? So being intentional about planting those seeds, especially if you want to write the stuff down, will really help create the future with more intention and more awareness of what you want in it. So in this time of darkness, remember that there's a lot of potential and fertility to create the future of your own design. So happy solstice and happy new year. If you like perspectives about relationships like this, then check out my podcast called Head Over Feels.